bit of background on Avni. Avni is the current club president. She's moved to the US. It's been a year that she moved over to the US, and professionally she is in CPA. So today she's going to talk about basics of individual taxation, and that's her project number 8. So let's welcome Avni, Basics of Individual Taxation. Basics of Individual Taxation, Avni.
Good evening, everybody. I'm sure whatever industry you're working in, whatever subject matter you are expert in, anything, everybody has to stop and think about their accounts, their taxation at the end of the year. It doesn't matter whether you're an engineer or an accountant or a doctor, you have to step. That's why today I thought of talking something very basic about taxation and individual taxation. I will walk you through the basics of that. This is the main, that's okay, I think now it's okay. This is the main screen where all of us can see gross income. This gross income, and as you all can see, even you have a handout. As I move on, you will not be able to go back to the screen. You can refer to the handout you have. Gross income, as you all know, includes our salaries, our profits, or anything. Every income. From business, from salary, from any kind of interest, anything will all be added here. Every kind of income will be added here. After that, I'm going to talk about some adjustments and to arrive at adjusted gross income. What it means is, once you add all of the adjustments, some of the income are not considered as an income. Just to give you an example, let's say alimony paid. Somebody who is divorced will give out money to their spouse as part of their partition agreement. When you pay that, that is being taken out as it's not considered as your income. So we will walk through that. Once you come at adjusted gross income, then you come at standard deduction or itemized deduction. All of you must have heard. What is itemized deduction? It is a list of deductions. If you are allowed to do that, if you have those things, if you are part of that, we will walk through that. And if you come to that number, if that number is higher than the standard deduction number already given by IRS, then you go for itemized deduction. But if this number is lower for you than the given by IRS standard deduction, then you will be continuing to follow under standard deduction. I will walk you through how people have some confusions about why they are not able to deduct some of the expenses. I will walk you through that as well. Then you come up to personal exemptions. This is by default. Everybody gets that for you, for your spouse, and if you have any dependents. Your kids, your parents, whoever you are claiming as your dependents. You will get the number multiplied by an amount. It is by default. After all of these, all the deductions, adjustments, you come up to taxable income. This is the income which is taxable for you. This is federal income tax. What it means is, based on this taxable income, federal income tax will be calculated. But you get some tax credits. These tax credits are, for example, if you have a kid, both of you are working, you and your spouse, and your kid is at daycare, you get some benefits. Likewise, there are a lot of tax credits, you get benefit. The difference between the deductions here and deduction here is, this is at gross level. You reduce your income, and based on that reduction of income, you will calculate your tax. Whereas here, you are directly reducing your tax amount. Then there are some other taxes you add. Some payments. These payments are nothing but, if you have seen your W-2, you will have some federal withheld taxes. Or you might have made some advance payments. These are the taxes you've already paid. So you reduce that, and you come up to a number which is either tax due or tax refund. We will walk through each of or many of these in a little bit detail. As I mentioned, you can see adjustments, which I'm now going to talk about, and you can also see on the handouts which I've given. Some adjustments are deductible IRA. A lot of you must be having some retirement planning. You must be investing in 401k, which is nothing but kind of your IRA. And versus Roth IRA. You can adjust your IRA. Why? Because when you deduct it later on, when you receive that, you will pay taxes when you receive it. Versus Roth IRA, you all must have heard that Roth IRA you pay taxes right now. That means you don't deduct. But when you retire, you will get the amount which is tax free. That's the difference between the two. Another thing you can consider as part of your adjustment is student loan interest expenses. Those who have taken out loans and those who are paying interest on that student loan, they will be receiving something called 1098E at the end of the year, and you get that as an adjustment. Tuition fee deduction, similar to that 1098T. Moving expenses. Not every kind of moving expenses. Only there are some conditions. Only if you move from one place to another, and now after moving of your job, the transition is more than 50 miles. So a lot of times you might think when you go to your CPA that why he's not deducting my moving expenses, but there are a lot of conditions to that as well. This is about standard or itemized deduction. All of these are itemized deductions. After calculating all of these, if you don't come up to a number which is higher than the standard already given by IRS, then you are given a benefit by giving standard deduction. Itemized deduction includes medical expenses, but only which is above or greater than 7.5% of your AGI. What is AGI? As you all can see, adjusted gross income. So only if it's above 7.5. Don't go to your CP and say, hey, why don't you count my medical expenses? Unless it's above 7.5. Same way, all the expenses you have paid, property, sales, income. This is for only if this is possible only if you have your own property, not rented. You must be paying some property tax. Other thing you must be paying is state income tax, and even you pay your license fee in DMV. That is also tax deductible if you are following itemized deduction. Mortgage interest, only if you have your principal house, not a rental one. Charity, 50% if it's cash, 30% if it's some in item. Casualty or theft is also allowed, but has to be greater than 10%. Some miscellaneous, like unreimbursed business expenses or education. This is something you did because it's required as part of your job, but you have not been reimbursed by your employer. Tax preparation fees, safe deposit, these are all miscellaneous items you can go for itemized deduction. These are the tax credits as I mentioned. Child and dependent care has to be less than 13. Lifetime learning credit, you go for this tax credit because as I said, tax will go down rather than the gross amount. Foreign tax credit, the way you add your global income, you also reduce your foreign tax credit because you paid something in foreign. Child tax credit, this is different than child and dependent care. If you see, even the age is different, so you get both the benefits. With that, I hope you have got some basic knowledge about the taxation, and thank you. Thank you, Mr.